Now we're recording. Okay. Uh, Sonny, you want to introduce yourself and then talk about Help Hope Live and then get right into it?
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for having me here. I will say tonight I'm in Philadelphia, so in your afternoon. Um, my name is Sunny Mullen, and I am the outreach manager for Help Hope Live, a national nonprofit based here in Philadelphia that supports individuals to do community-based fundraising for their medical expenses and related costs that aren't covered by insurance. So much of what all of you need on a daily basis, home modifications, new wheelchairs, therapy, all of the above. And we are closely partnered with United Spinal national chapter and all the as many chapters as will have us. So we're very lucky and thankful that Spinal Network has been a great partner with us so far. And Rick invited me here to give you guys a little overview. So I will share my screen and go into more of the details of who we are and what we do. So one second, let me bring this up. Okay, so like I said, we are Help Hope Live. We have been around, as it says, for almost 40 years now. And we were founded here in the Philadelphia region. And it is our mission at Help Hope Live to support community-based fundraising for people with unmet medical expenses and related costs due to cell and organ transplants, catastrophic injuries, and catastrophic illnesses. And what we do is quite literally in our name. We help ease the financial burden of a medical crisis. We provide hope at a time of overwhelming need. And we support patients to live their life as fully as possible. And so just a little glimpse of our 2020 history, especially in the catastrophic world, is that we had over 500 people, over 500 families come to Help Hope Live last year alone. And we were able to help them fundraise for over 25 new accessible vans and over 500 rehab and PT visits, plus so many more items, but these are just some of the bigger ticket items. And we are just so happy that we're able to do this for these families. And you may think, why would we come to Help Hope Live to start fundraising? What's the advantage of you versus other platforms I might be more familiar with? At Help Hope Live, we set you up with a campaign page on your website and a one-on-one client services coordinator that gives you the personal support to help you put on successful fundraisers and a finance team that can help you pay the bills. So they do that by helping you write your story, create flyers, social media support, all of that, all of the above that you really don't get that support from any other platform. And with us being a nonprofit, you and your donors can benefit from our nonprofit status with tax deductible donations, and all of your donors' donations can be eligible for matching grants if their employers have a matching grant program. And so we set you up with the client services coordinator. They give you all the tools to put on successful fundraising. You go out, do the fundraising. The funds come back to Help Hope Live.
Today, Rosalind.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did someone? Okay.
No, we didn't. We didn't use. We,
The funds come back to Help Hope
we
Live
can hear you.
and
You have to be
are Help Hope
quiet.
Live assets.
We
So
didn't
they
use the
should
van
not
today.
affect your asset-based benefits or become taxable
I don't know.
income to you or your family. So then you submit your bills to us and we pay directly to the vendor. So we help you keep any of your asset-based benefits. You know, you and your donors know that we're doing the right things with those funds. And it's a safe and reliable and supportive way to do your fundraising. And according to straight from our clients, working with Help Hope Live reduces their stress, improves their ability to pay their bills, and lessens their feeling of being a burden on their community. One other thing that sets us aside is that we medically verify every client we work with. So giving more trust and reliability to your community that you are fundraising for the right reasons. We work very closely with medical professionals all over the country, and these referrals are really important to us. So it's just one more kind of poke in that hole in your belt of saying, I am doing this for the right reason. It's really important to us. Custom campaign pages. These are completely customizable. You can write your story here, put videos, pictures. Your supporters can leave messages. They can even subscribe to your page so that whenever you update anything on your campaign page, your supporters will get immediately emailed so that they can continue to keep updated with your story and how your campaign is doing. So just a great way to keep in touch with your community at large. And as I said, through the funds that are raised in your honor, we can help you fundraise for a whole list of items. One main thing being equipment. And as Rick mentioned a little bit ago, asking you if anyone's looking to purchase a major item, we can help with wheelchairs, modified vehicles, home modifications. On the right, you'll see Robbie standing in his exoskeleton. We helped him fundraise for that maybe a year or so ago. And it's just his community rallied and helped him purchase that exoskeleton. FES bikes, really, and the list keeps growing. We also help you fundraise for care, caregiving expenses, service dogs, service animals, medical marijuana, insurance, hospital bills, all of those types of expenses as well. And the quality of life, certain adaptive sports, assistive technology, really important. We actually have one of the pieces of our partnership with United Spinal is with the Access Tech Initiative, trying to help educate the community on assistive technology. Really important to us to help do this. So these are, like I said, just a couple items of what we can help you with. I always say that if you're not sure if we can help you fundraise for it, just ask, because if it's not on the list, it might get on the list. Sometimes we may ask for a doctor's note to verify the need for something, but once we get that, we're here to help you with that. And your bills are very easy to submit to us. Everything can be put online, scanned and emailed to our fund request email directly to our finance team. We process over 1,000 fund requests every year. So this is a very smooth system and just a really quick way to get your bills paid. We do generally prefer to pay directly to vendor whenever possible so that you aren't responsible for putting those funds out up front. And as I mentioned, the client services coordinator helps with fundraising. They give you that personal touch, press releases, they can create flyers, social media campaigns, certain fundraising packets, all of those, that nitty gritty behind the scenes work that you don't have the time to do, you shouldn't have to do by yourself. We're here to help you with that. And this is just one of our many client stories. This is Stephanie Golden. His wife, Katrina, is actually one of our brand ambassadors. Stephanie was injured in an ATV accident, and we were able to help them by putting together a poker tournament. And with the funds that were raised in that poker tournament, we were able to help Stephanie raise funds for a stair lift for his home. So that's just, like I said, one example of the things the individuals that we're able to help. We also offer a lot of different partner services. We have mobility partners that either give certain discounts or certain services to our clients when they purchase those items through the funds that are raised in their honor. We have adaptive clothing discounts. We also have a very extensive resource guide on our website that we've been working on this year, which is really important to us as well, so that we're truly focusing on the individual as a whole, not simply the fundraising aspect, because we understand that all of these things truly go hand in hand with each other. And so that's kind of Help Hope Live in a bit of a nutshell. Some of our most common questions that we get, very easy. How would I get started if I'm interested in fundraising with Help Hope Live? One of two ways, really. You can either call our 800 number, which is at the bottom of this screen, or go onto our website, which is also at the bottom of this screen, and click the Get Started button. Once you have that first phone call with a client services coordinator and you're ready to move forward with us, you will receive a welcome packet that has all the terms of service, the medical verification form for your medical professional to fill out, and then you'll complete that application, get all of that information back to us. There is a $25 donation that can come from anyone in your community that is to set up your campaign page, get it live on our website. Once we get all of this information back, the medical professional, your application and the terms of service, the $25 donation, you are fully set and on board with us. This process can take 24 to 48 hours, or it can take a couple weeks. Really, the biggest place we see this getting hinged is with the medical verification form. This can come from your physician, a nurse, social worker, physical therapist, whomever on your team knows your condition best and can verify your condition and your needs. It's a very simple one-sheet form. So it's not something that you need to get the top doctor who's super busy to fill out. What makes us different than other platforms? Something we've already spoken about. The fact that we are tax deductible as a 501c3, the way that we manage the funds, that you are technically fundraising for Help Hope Live in your honor, and we manage those funds, helps you keep any coverage you may have. And my favorite is just the personal support that we're able to offer. The coordinator, the custom campaign materials, the media and social support. You can get someone from our team on the phone or through email every day of the week, Monday through Friday, really. And what has made our clients choose us? We did a survey last year and these were some of their answers. The fact that the donations are tax deductible. Nonprofit status encourages trust for their donors. Medical professional recommended them to come to us. How we manage all of the funds that are raised in their honor, and that the fundraising wouldn't jeopardize their asset-based benefits. Any fees involved? Very important question. There is a nominal 5% administration fee that comes out of every donation, with a 2.65% on all credit card fees for online donations. There's no charge to yourselves or your families for any of the work that we do in your honor, however. There's only that fee on your donors. And we do offer all donors that are donating online to cover the fees within their donation. We are seeing about 50 to 60% of donors covering that fee lately. So that's a really great thing, so that the clients themselves are able to have an impact from more of that donation. And a big question is always, what if I'm not super comfortable asking people for help or nervous about fundraising? We can set you up within the first few months of you being a Help Hope Live client with a personal fundraising video appeal that comes directly from us. It's an ask directly from our executive director using your pictures, your story. That is a very easy way for you to get out in front of your community without you having to really do much work. So this is just something that is easy for you to send out to your community while you may be trying to plan your first real fundraiser. And also another big one is that we do a lot of Facebook fundraising, and that's a nice, easy way to ease your way into fundraising before you really tackle what might be a major event in your eyes. And as one of our clients and our brand ambassadors told me, a big piece of advice is don't be afraid to ask for help, even in the hardest of times. If it scares you, do it scared. It's just a really great piece of advice that we've gotten straight from an individual who has done it scared themselves. And speaking of, what types of fundraisers do we generally do? I think a lot of people may think fundraisers as a major event, something like a gala or a golf outing. There are so many different types of fundraisers. We really meet you where your community is, where your hobbies are, what will actually keep your community engaged. So anything from spaghetti dinners to silent auctions, benefit concerts, jewelry sales, custom materials, or percentage of sales nights at restaurants. It really depends. Like I said, we're a national organization, so fundraisers look different all over the country, and all of them, as small and local as a yard sale or as large as a gala or a golf outing, can raise just as much money. So it really just depends on that community support. And we've done a lot of virtual fundraisers this year as well, different types of bingo nights or watch parties, gift cards. again, whatever you and your community are interested in. We had one client recently do a Star Trek watch party, and it was wonderful. And that's what her and her community are interested in. So she was able to turn that into a fundraising event. And so that is us in a nutshell. You know, that's how we're able to help you, help your community fundraise for your major expenses and for really your everyday expenses. I really hope that we're able to help some of you and some of your community that might not be here tonight. I appreciate your time and, you know, just your respect in allowing me to take part in your support group, because I know how sacred this space can be as well. I'm always available to send brochures out to anyone that would need it as well. Any other waiting room posters or do any other webinars for any other groups that you guys may be involved in. So here's all of my information. Rick also has my information. And I mean, at this point, certainly, if anyone has any questions, I will see there's something in the, yeah. So if anyone has any questions, feel free.
Rosalind.
But I appreciate you guys. And so Rick, just let me know if there's anything else that I missed after our conversation, or if I can do anything
Can
more.
you take me off mute? Take me off mute.
Good.
Sonny, can you, I know I'm getting echoing, but do you do a lot of GoFundMes?
So, and yes, we could actually, if we could hear you before when you were just on your phone too. So that was fine either way. But we are different from GoFundMe. We're two different entities, and we don't work with GoFundMe because they're not a nonprofit. And the way that yeah, so we're different in the way that we manage the funds, and that because they are Help Hope Live assets, they shouldn't affect any of your asset-based benefits, and donations are tax deductible to your donors. So we offer a lot more than GoFundMe does.
Okay.
Rick, you're on mute.
Is it okay to stop the screen sharing? Is everybody seeing what they?
Yeah, let me turn that off.
I was going to say, just so I could get everybody back on screen.
Yeah.
Are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions? I know I for one, will be starting a campaign. However, because we have our big 30-day, the Spinal Network 30-day challenge in June, I'm going to wait till after that. I don't want to be, people will think I'm double dipping there when I'm trying to. So, but I will be, since I tried twice through insurance to get the restorative therapy, the FES bike, and both times through all the appeal processes, and it was still denied because, of course, FES, an FES bike really has no benefit. Some GP who was being paid by the insurance company said that, I'm sure. So anyway, so once that is over, I'll be starting up a campaign to get that, because if I had done this when I originally planned 3 years ago, I wouldn't have some of the issues going on now that are going on now. So Rusty, it's good to see Rusty on here. And Rusty works with, he's got a pretty good client base. He works with a program in San Diego called Workability 3. It's kind of the community college connection. And, Rusty, I don't know if you have any comments or questions or anything.
Unfortunately, I arrived a little late. I didn't get the notice. I popped up here as I was doing some reading, so I just caught the tail end of it. So I really don't have. We
recorded this, so you're going to be able to go back. But if there's anything, I don't. We've got some time. Sonny, do you want to?
That's good.
not at the introductory part, but where it talks about the program on your PowerPoint, and maybe just zip through and give till Rusty gets to the point where he
Sure, I can even just give a quick overview
Okay,
without
okay.
having to bring everything back up. And I just wanted to be sure, did anyone else have any questions before I do that? Because I thought I heard someone pipe in, but
Yeah, I have a quick question.
sure.
So the money that you make, like it's over your goal, what do you guys do with that money?
So with us, you technically, yes, you saw that there is a goal on that individual's fundraising page. We don't require you to have a set goal. There's never a cap of how much you're fundraising with us. Even if you do have a goal like Rick with the FES bike, it's never I'm fundraising this amount for this bike and then I'm done. You start a campaign with us, you're hopefully fundraising with us for as long as you need us, which is going to be your lifetime, really. And people will put their goals on their campaign pages or write a story about their FES bike or what specifically they're fundraising toward to make it easier on their community to kind of get a picture of what their donations are going toward. But there's never a cap or any of that. Your funds that are being raised in your honor are held in a regionally restricted fund in your honor and are there for your expenses that you have ongoing. So even if, and Rick, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep using you as an example, but Rick starts his campaign, he knows in his head he wants to fundraise toward this FES bike, but that's a long-term goal. Currently, he might have day-to-day bills, hospital bills or medications that he can submit while he's still doing his long-term goal of fundraising for the FES bike. So it all in that campaign page is so customizable in that respect. So you don't, even if you do have a goal, if you reach that goal, you can extend it and do it differently. So that's completely up to you.
Okay, so
The only time that the funds come into play, I will say, so those funds are always going to be in the region for your use. If you choose to close your campaign or if you do pass away, and there, we do pay for certain funeral bills, but, and, any outstanding medical bills. But at that point, if you choose to close your campaign or if you pass away and there are no more bills, no more anything, and there are still funds remaining in your honor, those funds do stay within the region to assist other individuals within the region. So that's how us as a nonprofit helps the greater good. So we are here for you as long as you need us, but when you don't need us anymore, and if you choose not to need us anymore, we will go ahead and help other people with those funds.
Okay, and so basically you can they'll have your campaign open and the page open, but you don't necessarily have to be raising funds anymore. That it'll just be like, say they give you say you get, I saw one person had $1 million that it's going to pay for the bills and everything else like that, but they didn't need the money. They didn't need to make any more money at the moment. They could just stays open and just they use it when they need it.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the best
Okay.
time to be fundraising because you don't need the money right now. The worst time to be fundraising is when you need something today.
Yeah.
So we want you to come to us so that we can help you plan long term. And you might not need a car today, but your car might only have another year in it. Let's plan and get you fundraising for that long term. So yeah, we're here to help for the long term, really.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Does it cover limousine service? Because we'd like to get Rusty off the road, but still get him back and forth to work.
Uh-oh. I'm sure I've got some people in my life that drive like that too. So, so Rusty, and I apologize that you came in late, but just
Yeah, my apologies.
a quick overview is that we Help Hope Live. We are a national nonprofit that assists individuals to fundraise in their communities for their medical expenses and related costs. So that is, us in a very small nutshell, but we do that by offering a lot of personal support, our 501c3 status. We manage all of the funds. They all come through us, and then we pay directly to vendors so that you don't have to put funds out up front. So we make this all as seamless and simple for you as possible.
So it's for individuals, not another nonprofit agency.
So we do have what we call compassion funds when another organization would want to do fundraising for themselves. For, we have some that do for physical therapy scholarships. We have one that helps their employees with their medical bills. So every one of those compassion funds is a little different. if you have something in mind in that respect, we can certainly talk another time to go over that. But for the most part, we are individuals, assisting
Okay.
individuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions out of oh. Any particular questions out of RCC?
And I would say, please get in touch with me. I'm always looking for more organizations and more groups, because it is our struggle. You know, we are a small organization, even though we are rather mighty, but it is our struggle to meet as many people as early on in their journey as possible, and to try to help for as long as possible. So anything that any of you can do to put me in touch with any other organizations or contacts or medical professionals, I truly appreciate all of that as well.
I'm surprised actually Richard Green wasn't on, because he's on every call. So I was surprised.
Yeah,
I wanted to introduce you to him, but I can also do that via email to Sonny.
Okay, and where was he from?
Sharp Rehab.
Mm. Yeah, if you could please, I remember we spoke about that.
Did you have something, Rusty?
I don't know, just trying to, like I said, it's a little late. I read a little bit about it and then trying to get over you is, so someone basically, individual who's significantly injured, is hospitalized, loses their job, but then they have family members that want to raise funds. And so they would use you as the managing partner of those funds per se.
Precisely. We would, and
Right.
another important point too that Rusty just reminded me of is that a friend or a family member can open a campaign on someone's behalf.
Right.
So it does not need to be the individual, and especially because I know that all of you probably have more than enough to do within your days, and especially when we're trying to get to people as early on in their journey, we need to be talking to their friends and family and their ancillary community. We don't need to be speaking to that individual immediately, because that's just, I know it would be a lot. So that is something we can also offer, and that we can open a campaign on behalf of someone. So yeah, we help them fundraise. We give them all of our personal support by helping them write stories, create flyers, plan the fundraisers, all of that.
All right.
Let's say, what if someone has a van and all of a sudden something happens and there's extensive repairs that would need to be done that are beyond someone's financial.
Just try and get me off the road, really.
So is it not your driving? It's just the safety of your car?
It's all ties together.
Okay.
He's approaching driving retirement.
Oh.
I was actually thinking of Jim, and if he might, as time went on, if he might need, additional modifications to drive or whatever that.
We certainly can help you fundraise for car modifications, certain car repairs. I mean, it'll certainly get to the point that if we're paying for enough car repairs, we may want you to just look into getting not necessarily a new car, but a new to you car.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no. And like I said, there might be bills that we haven't thought of yet that you would bring to us. And I always suggest to just ask before assuming it's something we wouldn't help cover. So, with a doctor's note, there isn't much that we wouldn't cover.
I'm in a wheelchair. I still need a doctor's note, right?
For certain things, we need to be sure of what the expense is, though.
Yeah.
It's this little pet peeve that I have. At least you have to have a placard that shows you're, obviously disabled, and things like that.
I absolutely, I understand. I can't say I personally understand, but I empathize. And honestly, for so much, we don't need a doctor's note. But if it's something we haven't heard of before and we don't know what it necessarily is, we just need someone else to verify it.
Well, I've seen people in chairs and all of a sudden they hop out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had it for the placard and for all the other, for the whatever. And then you know, when they thought no one was looking, they hopped out of the chair and folded it up, threw it in the back and hopped in the car.
I just read a
Let's see
great
if I can do
article.
that real
I
quick.
just read a great article this weekend about the airlines are starting to come down on that because everybody's claiming they're disabled, so they can all get off and get on and first and get out of there.
Yeah.
It's like, it was funny. The lady goes, "Yeah, I saw a bunch of them running through the airport after they got the plane."
I've seen that so many times. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Well, look what
crazy.
that happened at Disneyland, you know, because Disneyland had that, they would let you go through to the front of the
Yeah,
line and
right.
And I can,
Mhm.
like, I've had that happen just because I do have a younger brother in a wheelchair. And so we have been at Disney World where they do let us get to the front. But I can say that we're that family, though, that my dad and I will wait in the back of the line, and my mom and my brother will be inside in the
Yeah.
air conditioning, and they'll wait for us. So we don't generally jump the line. We just get him to safety,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
we wait
Yeah.
for our spot in line.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not something, and I can
Right.
say with my personal experience, it's not
Right.
something that you ever want to just jump a line.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
They
was a
stopped-
big deal going on a few years ago until they cracked down on it.
Yeah.
it was a huge deal. I have to say, it used to be very easy at Disney World, and then they cracked down on it, and unfortunately it really affected the community though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because
And to think all the years that I went down there back in the 80s, I didn't try to scam the system, and I still sat in the back of the line.
Yeah,
And they didn't let me on
exactly.
rides either.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you could do that.
But certain sorry, go ahead, Rick.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if anyone else has any questions or
That's what
anything, if you didn't have, that's what you were gonna say.
That's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say.
But this is being recorded, but Rick also has my information. Please feel free to email me anytime you need. Feel free to share my information with anyone who might not have been able to join tonight. And certainly the group from RCC, I'd love for you guys to reach out. So I appreciate your time tonight. This afternoon,
you.
whichever it might
Thank
be
you,
for you.
Sonny.
Sonny.
Thank you.
You're
You're
Sonny.
welcome, guys.
Thanks,
I
Sonny.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch.
All right, and
I
have a great rest of
think
your
I did
meeting,
have-
guys.
Okay.
for
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yep.
So,
Where's she out of, Rick?
where?
Yeah,
She's out of the Philly area.
yeah, all right. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Misty, where are you out of? Oh, you're muted. There.
Ah, okay. I'm in the Modesto area.
Okay.
Modesto.
Yeah. I don't,
Because I've seen the name before, and I was trying to think where did I see it before?
Yeah, I usually go from NorCal, so I probably
Okay. With those two rascals up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, I don't know if you know this, Rick, but that van I own it's over $100,000, and I had about $2,000, and I knew I'd never be able to afford it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And through I just it was through contacts at San Diego State, they started the fundraiser, and I went through the San Diego State Foundation, so they use their like 501c.
Mhm.
But what you really need, that's a good thing to have, because people they give to nonprofits because they can write it off.
Yeah.
But also what they had was a huge database.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so and and people are always looking for causes to give.
Mhm.
And it was over a 2-month period, they raised $24,000, and I purchased the van.
Nice.
I mean,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, I was they did this golf tournament, I was like, oh, golf tournament, and they said, yeah, we're gonna do a golf tournament. And I mean, it was just pretty remarkable. It was, but there was, some heavy hitters involved that have done this stuff before in some areas that had all the people that knew the people,
Mhm.
I mean, I got a spreadsheet of people, I'd never even heard and seen or known, and they're like donating thousands of dollars, It's like, it's just pretty emotional. It's pretty
Yeah.
overwhelming. It's pretty overwhelming, but there are people that like to give. I know I give to a couple organizations monthly, but
Mhm.
you just gotta, you just gotta tie into those people who are givers and have a voice out there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know who the big givers are, man? animal people, man. I went to a fundraiser at a Humane Society. They were like giving away jet plane flights to like private jet flights to like Sedona and Hawaii. I was like, and I worked at nonprofit at the time, and we were doing like fundraising, like these little, like what they had. What was that? The silent auction. We were like asking little merchants we could have like wine for silent auction. And I'm at this fundraiser. We're having like Via Oscar, and they're like jet planes they had at these Humane Society. It was a black tie. It was a black tie event. I was like, I am way underdressed for this thing, man. It was unbelievable. I was like, this is nuts, man. It was at the Humane. It was at the Humane Society. Bill Walton was there, all the woo-woo people in San Diego, but it was huge money.
I'd like to connect with somebody in a sports figure in San Diego that would be interested in joining up with us.
Yeah, Bill Walton does a lot for the I think the Athletic Foundation or the whatever.
Yeah, he does.
He does. I know he's a biker and he does all the bike rides and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, he used to be out at Sequan on certain nights, like a Thursday night or something, for doing stuff too.
Did you see that retired basketball player Bradley? Who,
broke his neck.
Yeah. He's like
Bradley,
6'7", riding a bike and got hit by a car and boom.
I hardly ever hear from my brother. He sends me the article. I'm going, thanks a lot, dude. Never called me, asked me how I'm doing. Just send me the article on the broken neck guy, right? He's always sending me bad news, like, come on. Can you call me and say, hey, how you doing? No, here's Bradley.
Oh, you know what? I could probably stop the recording, huh?